Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new video of why to use this unit, and this time I want to talk about the Prosecutors with the Stormcast Javelins. They cost 80 points, and compared to the ones with hammers, I will say that I prefer the Prosecutors with the Stormcast Javelins. I think they are more useful and they accomplish better the role, and on top they are cheaper. So what we have for 80 points, we have 3 Prosecutors that they have movement 12, 2 wounds, 4+ save, and bravery 6. They are equipped with the Stormcast Javelin that have range 18, 1 attack, 3+2 hit, 3+2 wound, damage 1. But if you are 9 inches away, they do 2 damage instead of 1. So you always want to be between 9 and 18 inches with these guys. Then 1 can be equipped with the every 3 you can have 1 Storm Surge Trident that is range 18, 1 attack, 3 to hit, 3 to wound, -1 rend, 2 damage. So in principle you are paying for you are taking this for the -1 rend and not to have this minimum of 9 inches away. In the close combat, if they go with the Stormcast Javelin, they have 4 to hit, 4 to wound, and 1 damage, and if it's the Stormcast with the Storm Surge Trident is 4 to hit, 4 to wound, -1 damage too. So I will say that first you want to put the Trident on the prime, because the prime will hit on 2+. So making the Trident 2+2 hit, 3+2 wound, -1 rend, 2 damage. What is very good. And they are equipped with the Sigmarid shields. So what they can reroll, save rolls of 1 on this unit. On top, you can roll 3 dice instead of 2 dice when determining the charge move for this unit. In addition, you can declare a charge with this unit if it's within 18 inches rather than 12. So the use of these guys, so really you don't want to charge. You want to be in this range between 9 to 8. So normally you want to be at 18 inches. It's in a position where you can shoot, but you will not have charges from the enemy very easily. So they are quite safe. You want to use them also to hostigate on the flanks and to cause some. I will say this Prosecutors is so cheap unit that can work as a shaft for the Stormcast Eternals. So it's like your shaft unit. I like to keep them at long range, and then when I don't have any way to escape, charge with them just to entertain the enemy unit. They are not going to kill anything in close combat, but with the 4+ save rerolling ones, they are as resilient as the Liberators, because they also have 2 wounds, of course, as 3 Liberators, not as 5 Liberators. So they are quite good in terms of resiliency, and they can do some damage in the distance. And I think this is the way to use them. Put them on the flanks, try to move, and normally, or you go for enemy weak units that are also shaft, so they will be able to do good damage on the shaft enemies, or you just try to entertain another small enemy unit, so they will work as shaft while the Liberators and the block of your army is doing the work. Also, if you tie an enemy in close combat, you can then use the Judicators to finish them from the distance. So it's a nice flexible unit. Normally I only take 1. I will not take more than 1 or 2. And I think, yeah, because if you want something that is just to block enemies, you can also use the Liberators that are slightly cheaper. For 20 points more, you have 4 wounds more to do this role. But they are quite a nice hostigating unit. They have a good mobility. And I think is what I like of them. I prefer them versus the hammers, the ones with 2 hammers, because although the ones with 2 hammers can be better in damage throughput in close combat, they are less resilient than the ones with javelins. And normally what I like to use them is keep them in the distance, do some shooting, and in case it's needed, go in close combat to entertain the enemy unit while the reinforcements are arriving. And I will say this is all. Try to keep them as much as you can between this sweet spot of 9 to 18 inches. the damage is going to be, don't expect too much. So I will expect that you will do 2 or 4 wounds per turn, not much, because they don't have Ren, and the only one that have Ren is the Trident. So the damage will be less than Judicators, but they cost half of the Judicators. If you pay 160 points, that is what the Judicators are costing, you will have 6 of these guys, so you will have 2 units. And then the damage, it's going to be almost not too bad, especially if you are shooting enemy with low armor values. So I will say that this is a nice hostigating unit. Shaft, don't use them as a yeah, they are not there to go into close combat, of course, and only put them in close combat when you need to entertain enemy unit, when you want to use them as a shaft and you want to win time for the rest of your army to be in position. And that's all what I would like to say, but I think it's not a bad unit. The only thing is that you have to know how to use it, and it's quite cheap. So 80 points if you're playing a big game is almost nothing, and they can be sometimes, but also they can do a couple of wounds to enemy characters. Normally, if you go behind a Necromancer, they can be a pain to the Necromancer because they have high mobility, 12, so they can really go against enemy characters that have low armor value, like wizards, sorcerers, necromancers, and so on. Even some of the I will say Bloodbone with low armor value, if they have armor value 5, something like that. The Prosecutors can be a little bit dangerous because the throughput is damage too. So if you are a little bit lucky, you can scratch 2 or 4 wounds. So this character suddenly is at half of his wounds, what is going to be quite weak. And if you have 2 rounds, you can maybe finish the enemy character. Of course, if you go behind the enemy lines, you're going to be charged and annihilated. So be careful. You can also use them as a disruptive unit to entertain the enemy, to force them to move back to protect the characters. So there is quite a nice uses of them, and I think it's not a bad unit. So I prefer them compared to the hammers. That's all what I want to share here. Let me know how you like to use the Prosecutors. Here we have their Order, Celestial, Human, Stormcast Eternal, Angelos, and Prosecutors. So yeah, let me know how you use them. The Prosecutors with Stormcast Javelins. If you like them, no. And if you like them, why? And if you don't like them, why you don't like them? That's all what I want to share in this video. Leave the comments below. Give a like if you have liked this video. And as usual, thanks a lot for watching. And see you again later. Bye.